I touch and salute the holy feet of Bharata Mata, the most powerful and the most merciful. Honorable Deputy Chief Minister of Telangana, Mallapati Vikrama Garu, Member of UPSC Lieutenant General Raj Shuklaji, Member UPSC Sri Dinesh Dasaji, Chairperson Standing Committee of National Conference of Chairpersons of State Public Service Commission, Sriman Alok Verma, IFS G, and Chairman Telangana Public Service Commission, with whom we both worked together, Sri Bora Venkadasam IAS, and I was the governor of Telangana for 3 months, and we both have the opportunity to work together. And the chairman of UPSC, Sri Sanjay Srinet, our Uttar Pradesh Public Service Commission, and my dear brothers and sisters, you got a lot of responsibility. What you are recruiting, that is going to decide the development of next 30 years. And it is the privilege to address in this August gathering at a defining moment in India's journey towards Viksit Bharat. 2047, I think I may be an old man of 90 years old. So, but your recruitments will be remembered forever. They will be remembered because they are going to be the constructors of the Great Bharat. That's why when this is a small gathering, I know it is going to be a small gathering. Then in my office also somebody asked me, sir, we have to go there. I said, yes, we have to go there for 2 reasons. This is not only a small gathering, but it is the most important gathering because these are the people who are going to decide the future of the nation. And my association with Bora Venkadesam Garu is also, though it is only 3 months, but we got a lot of interactions every day, so we understand each other. When he came and asked me, then I said immediately I am coming. Yes, our nation aspires to become the fully developed nation, inclusive of globally competitive economy. The quality of our governance systems and more importantly the quality of the people who run them will be decisive. When Vikrama Garu has said that any development should be inclusive development, yes. Then some of you may have been thinking, sir, the merit is getting sidelined, the reservations are coming in, how we can select the right people. It's not that. We have to select our merit-oriented people, no doubt about it. At the same time, we have to take the entire society together. Why the reservation has been given to some sections? The scheduled caste people have been suppressed by the rest of the society for many, many years. Not many years, maybe many centuries. So they should always feel that they are also the part of our society. For ST people, why we have to give? They have not been suppressed, but they are the most isolated section of our society. So we have to bring them into the mainstream. But what can do is, you select the most merit-oriented persons from that community so that they will serve better. So we have to live together, we have to live with the recruitment rules what has been made, and we have to perform in that framework. At the same time, we should keep everything in mind. How to get the best out of that from that framework. That should be your aim, and I am sure that you all will be doing that. At the very heart of this governance architecture stands the Public Service Commission, a constitutional institution entrusted with one of the most critical responsibilities of the Republic, that is, selecting the right individual to serve the nation with competence, integrity, and impartiality. That is more important. You can deny anything, but denial also should have lot of respect. You deny something even to the great political personality. You can deny it. Sir, I want to help him out, but these are the reasons I couldn't do it. You have to explain to them. Nobody is going to say, no, you have to do it. This all depends upon the psychology, what we are applying. How we are taking the people together with us. That is the success story of anyone. There are Samabheda Danda. You should not try to use the Danda every time. Even for Ram, if Ram uses Ramban every day, do you think Ram will get this much respect? No. The Ramban also has to be used against the most atrocious power. That is why he used it against Ravana, and Ram is being worshipped by everyone. So we have to use every mean. The last resort is Danda. That you have to make this point into the minds of the people who are getting selected by you. They are very young. All of a sudden, big power is coming to them. They should not act as powerful personality. They should act as more responsible, powerful personality. That is where the success story is going to make the difference in the future. The vision of an independent public service commission has been embodied in our constitution to ensure that the public recruitment remains free from political influence and personal bias. Over the decades, public service commissions, both the union and the state levels, have upheld this trust by acting as guardian of merit, fairness, and transparency. Even today, our UPSC is one of the strongest systems. Very rarely its selection fails. Even the foreign countries, they are trying to know what is our UPSC, how it is functioning. In doing so, they have not merely filled posts, they have shaped the character of India's civil service, enabling administrative continuity, institutional stability, and the public confidence in governance. In India prepares to mark 100 years of independence, this role becomes even more vital. The vision of Viksit Bharat 2047 cannot be achieved if the right person is recruited and the right person is placed in the right place. It will be very difficult. Whoever may be the designer of our development, that all has to be implemented at every level, from taluk level, from village level, from district level, from the state level, and then comes the national level. So what we are designing at Delhi, every project, every program, every social security scheme is being designed with a good motive that the poorest among the poor, the last man also should get the benefits of the growth of economy. In practice, so many schemes fail, so many projects fail, because Delhi is not implementing everything. The implementation has to take place at the district level, village level, small city level, in the state level. So your responsibility is, in my opinion, greater than anybody else, because you are going to recruit the people who are going to implement everything. The infrastructure expansion, digital governance, social inclusion, climate action, and economic transformation all require administrators who can operate across sectors, collaborate with multiple stakeholders, and respond effectively to rapidly changing circumstances. That is very important. We have to be flexible. Without flexibility, success will be very difficult. Flexible means falling down. No. You have to go like that, but you are straight. When there is a curve is coming in the national highway also, you have to little bit turn the steering. That doesn't mean we are not bending, but we are traveling straight. Our civil servants will be important implementers of this national vision, translating policy intent to ground level outcomes. Therefore, the responsibility of the Public Service Commission is identifying, attracting, and selecting such talent, which is the foundational to India's development future. Recruitment today must be the excellence with equity. Recent reforms aimed at improving accessibility, inclusiveness, and transparency in competitive examinations reflect a growing recognition that talent exists across regions, social backgrounds, and abilities. At the same time, Public Service Commission must continuously evolve their process to address challenges such as examinations, credibility, aspirant trust, procedural delays, and legal disputes. Strengthening digital systems, ensuring evolutions, improving grievances, redressal, and maintaining clear communication with candidates are essential to sustaining confidence in the recruitment ecosystem. Merit must not only be the upheld, it must be seen to be upheld. That is very, very important. Recent instances of recruitment irregularities in certain parts of the country serve as reminders that institutional credibility can be undermined by even a few lapses. When I was the governor of Jharkhand, you all know that was ruled by the opposition. That government brought one law. If any paper leakage, 10 years imprisonment and 10 crores penalty. There was a hue and cry from the opposition in that state. The legislation come to me for my signature to become the law. I didn't wait even for a second. I just signed it and sent it back. The same thing now, I think similar law has been brought up by the central government also now. See, unless we punish the guilty, there is no way that you can save the good people. So here we have to be very careful. Whatever the questions we are preparing, that secrecy should be maintained. Nobody should take advantage of some paper leakage or something. Okay, if any leakage is there, you cancel it without any hesitation. Let us prepare again. But proper steps should be taken. The secrecy of the question papers should be maintained at all costs. That has to be seen. Public service commissions play a central role in setting ethical benchmarks. No doubt about it. And not only by enforcing rules, but by fostering a culture of zero tolerance for malpractice and absolute commitment to fairness. While academic knowledge and intellectual capability remain essential, effective governance today requires much more. Civil servants must demonstrate ethical judgment, emotional intelligence, teamwork, leadership, empathy and adaptability. We should adapt to the situation at no moment. People are thinking that it is very difficult to adapt yourself. So many people ask me, sir, you are a governor. When you are a governor, you don't have, and how you are adapting immediately to another situation. Vice president, the vice president is the chairman of the Rajya Sabha also. It is nothing. You just see what you have to do. You just do what you have to do. That is the easiest way of adapting yourself to any situation. Modern administrative challenges are complex, yes, and collaborative in nature. The slowness has gone. The changes are coming so fast. What it was in the yesteryears, today it becomes irrelevant. Many subjects which many students have studied in the last decade is totally irrelevant today. New subjects are coming, new science inventions are coming, new scientific developments are coming. That's why I am always telling our universities, you should introduce new syllabus, new subjects, which is relevant to the modern economic world. Recruitment also should be changed like that. Any degree, how any degree is eligible. For certain things, we should select the people who have studied that particular subject. We have so many computers, we are giving so many training centers for how to use the computer for our people. But we don't recruit a computer engineer to repair a computer. That's why when we are buying, that will be very good, and when the opening will be very good, everything is okay. Opening also should be very good. The last batsman also, if it is required, he has to bat. Then only the victory comes to us. So how to do that? The recruitment system also should get modernized. And it should be changed according to the requirement in the field. Previously, IAS means most of them are from economics and history. Now IAS means there are doctors also. My secretary when I was the governor of Jharkhand, he is an MBBS doctor. Pura? And he has saved one passenger while he was traveling to Delhi. So why I am telling this? Then so many agriculture, BSc agriculture, BE agriculture students are becoming IAS officers. Yes. You need an expertise on agriculture also. Textiles also. BTech are coming in. That will help the administration more. So our recruitment system should be modernized and we should identify the new areas where the real recruitment is needed. That's why wherever I am going, I am always asking them, you make first manpower study before going for the recruitment. Where you are understaffed, where you are having overstaff, whether you can adjust that. Otherwise, you offer the VRS. You have to recruit new people with new knowledge, with new expertization, so that we will have an inclusive administration. Ethical dilemma and situational judgment evaluations, group problem solving and leadership exercises, standardize the personality and aptitude test aligned with the public service values. These are have to be adopted in the right way so that you can find the right efficient people. One wrong person is getting recruited, that means he will be there for another 30 years. At the age of 25 or 27, 28, 29, even 30. He will be there up to 60 of his age. So 30 years means at least 2-3 generations he is going to dominate. So we have to keep that in mind while recruiting the talented personalities for through our service commission. India's service rules already provide for performance appraisal, vigilance oversight, and periodic review. This is why the private people are so successful, whereas the government is taking its own time. There are many reasons, but one of the reasons is that periodic appraisal and periodic supervision is lacking in the government sector, whereas the private, they have left with no other alternative. They have to do that. Otherwise, they will fail like anything. But government is a continuing institution. Even failures are there that will be taken care by the others who are coming in. So we should be always have one single thing. First is motivating the people. Second thing is supervising the people. That must be taken care so that your recruitment for first group, they are going to be collectors, they are going to be the district SPs and all, they are going to be one day, yes. How you should select, in my opinion, is when their name is going for conferred IAS or IPS to Delhi. Delhi should say, ask, yes, you send these names, they are doing very good in the state, we want to give them, and they should get encouraged. That type you should recruit. This is what is my humble request to all of you. Yes, we forward into the future, we can think about how to harness the potential demographic dividend. Public Service Commission through initiatives such as Pratibha Setu can help in match right person with the right job, like the UPSC 1 or the state PSCs. Also to think of such approaches to aid employability of the youth. Yes, India advances. Yes, we are from nowhere, we are the 5th largest, now 4th largest economy of the world. We are going to be the 3rd largest economy. When we were nowhere, we were very slow. So one mistake also is not going to cost you very much. Today when you are growing so fast, any small mistake also costs us so much, because people are paying a lot of tax. So we are going for big projects. One small mistake also will cost the taxpayers' money in a big way. So the entire thing has been changed now. The speed in which we want to develop or we are developing, that needs a lot of dynamism, lot of enthusiasm, and lot of confidence in the minds of the individuals. So these criteria should be always kept in mind before selecting or recruiting a person. And the Public Service Commission stands at the very core of this national transformation. And as I said in my earlier of my speech, we are going to select the implementers. Whatever may be the planning is so good in Delhi, the benefits of that good planning should reach the people. That is only through the state administration. So except the direct transfer system, all other things has to go through the state administrative system. So we should be very, very careful, and we must be so devoted towards our work. If we do 2-3 very good recruitments, then changing India as the #1 economy is not at all difficult. So you always keep the clarion call of the Prime Minister that India should be Viksit Bharat by 2047. That is all in your hands mainly. With these words, I wish you all every success in your new endeavors, and I take this opportunity to wish you all a very happy Christmas and happy New Year and happy Sankranti and Pongal. Thank you. Jai Hind. Long live Mother Bharat. Thank you.